Konnichiwa, y'all, and welcome to the MrMaple Show. Guys, we are on location here with Brandy Hayes. This is an absolutely amazing garden. We got to go around and preview it just a little bit. I think you're going to be excited about this one. It is special.
Yeah, guys, I'm Tim. That's my brother Matt. We're MrMaple.com. Check us out. But today, we get to check out Miss Hayes' garden. Brandy, you want to tell us a little bit about your garden here?
Yeah, this is Stone Falls Farm. We actually built this house and property in 2021. So the gardens are only a few years old, so they're looking really, really good now, and fortunately have a lot of MrMaple plants in here for you to see. So,
guys, there are some epic flowering plants, container gardens. Go over just a few of your collections. Like, we got a preview of it, but I know you have plant societies coming here to tour. Like, this is a next level plant collection. I'm pretty excited. I think you guys are going to be really in for a treat today.
So I'm kind of the best of both worlds. I love to design, but I also really, really love to collect. So I have a very big collection of Japanese maples, podophyllums, polygonatums, eracema. Just if it's out there, I want it. So yeah, just really doing some good things with that.
Oh, thank you so much for having us here today. Let them know right up front, where can they find you? I know you'll have an Instagram page for this.
Yeah, it's Stone Falls Farm.
So give them a follow. This place is amazing. Let's get in the garden. All right, so what do we got going on here?
This is the Weeping Purple Styrex called Night Falls. I was fortunate enough to find this at your guys' open house this past one that you had. So I have the upright version of it in the garden as well, but I love this weeping form. It's going to stay lower in front of the house and not take away. But I love, love, love the dark purple foliage on this and the white flowers.
I am nuts about this. I love like the weeping styrax. That's just such a next level plant. Evening Light's already one of my favorite colors. So like when you get that plus a pendulous habit, I had to pull some tricks to get to this one early. So we worked around and got some of these early. We'll probably offer them again, but that thing is such a next level plant. I was excited to see you got one because I wanted to come visit your garden when we're out here. So let's check it out. You've got so many next level plants. Like I know you've got a big maple collection. There's so many flowering plants and conifers. Really just next level here though. I noticed you had a pewter. That's that Stewartia pseudocamellia?
Yes. I got this a couple of years ago. Really love the color silver in front of our dark black house. So things just really pop against it. So I'm excited to see all the flowers about to come out on that one.
Yeah, I mean, whenever I found pewter for the first time, I just fell in love with it too. I mean, there's not any Stewartia pseudocamellias that have foliage interest like that.
Yes.
And then with the Stewartia, you get the blooms,
and the bark,
the blue, like you just get everything in great fall color. So I mean, that's just a win-win.
Yeah.
So you mentioned before we're off camera, Kathy Hornbuckle. I know a lot of conifers out here. Big influence on you, conifer-wise.
Huge influence.
She's so sweet.
Yes. Yes, I really started to beef up my conifer collection. She'll even go shopping and just say, hey, I'm getting this one for you. You have to have this in your garden. So
you got all those plant friends that show up with a plant for you.
Yes. So really trying to add these in so I have all 4-season interest in the garden. So
big Ryusin here. This is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, this Ryusin's looking epic here against this beautiful backdrop.
Yeah, I've been training it to go as high as possible. I just love how this just drapes and I want it to just weep across the ground. But I thought it might be a little too hot on the southern side of the hot black house, but it is just thriving and kicking. So
I've always been impressed with its heat tolerance. I mean, even in some hotter zones than this, I've seen it in full sun in Dallas.
Yeah.
At the Dallas Botanical Garden. So I mean, yeah, you're always iffy with rock. Like rock can heat up quick, but I think you got the right idea here with the durability on this one.
I just like how you're staking it too and just letting that dramatic cascading effect just play out in the garden.
Exactly.
You can definitely see your design elements coming into play.
Yes.
I see you've got some DeGroot spires here in the landscape.
Yeah, this kind of going along with trying to build up that 4-season winter interest. I love these DeGroot spires. just how they add that little pop of exclamation point in the garden that draws your eye in, and then you can see everything else planted around it. So I do a hard trim on these really every year, just to keep them as skinny as possible. So I really love this tree.
I was going to ask you, you're shaping them.
I am.
I think the vertical interest is something that I think people miss out in the landscape. Because it really, like you said, it draws your eye across the whole landscape. You put this up tall, and then all of a sudden your eyes aren't focused here. They're looking at the full picture.
Correct.
So really good use of this.
Thank you.
Boy, you've got some beautiful Japanese maples in the garden. A gorgeous dwarf pixie right here. I mean, I just love the red color that thing provides in that small space. I mean, it looks like you've put in a lot of interesting perennials in here as well. I mean, everywhere I look, I'm seeing really amazing perennials. I'm seeing conifers mixed in. And right here, I mean, I see one of my favorite redbuds of them all, the Carolina Sweetheart.
I love this tree. I love the variegation on it. Purple is probably the most used color in my entire garden when you're looking at a color palette. But I just think it looks amazing on this hillside. The variegation of the white and the purple, it just goes so good, and it loves the Carolina heat.
Probably my favorite redbud. I love all the new ones too. Like, I'm a huge fan of Flamethrower, Golden Falls. All those are cool. Maybe my oldest daughter's Carolina, so I got a special spot for that. But I love Carolina Sweetheart. I think it's just one of the more epic patterns.
Yeah.
And yeah, super cool plant. You got a beautiful specimen here of it as well.
And Dr. Tom Rainey, he's a good friend of ours. I mean, he's one of those guys that's just developed so many cool plants throughout the time. And Denny, he's got some great selections like the Golden Falls and the Flamethrower like Matt was talking about. But
this one is Flamethrower. We'll have to look at later.
But this one's just crazy because you get the variegation and the purple.
Yeah.
I see you got a plum density up here.
Yes, I got that this year from you guys. So really excited to have this dark black chocolate foliage here on this hillside. I have a lot of yellow that comes in throughout the summer. So to have that dark black, and then I think it'll do nice on this hill to kind of shade this side of the house. So
I love how much as a gardener you think about color. It really comes out in the garden.
Color.
Like, there's so much contrast and nuance, and like there's really just a portrait being painted in every little corner we go to. I'm really excited about some of these other places we're headed to because the color contrast is so intense. How much does that factor into what plants you're looking for a specific spot when you're kind of setting a bed up like this?
I think that's kind of my #1 focus. So I was a fine art major in college.
Okay.
So this is
Makes sense.
this is my outlet to continue my love of art.
I'm starting to understand now.
Yeah. So I really plant with the forethought of color, texture, and how the plants play together, not necessarily what they're going to do in the garden, but how they all blend together. So that's where the design comes into play. But when I love something, I want everything of it. So that's the collecting side of it. So it's nice to blend.
The textures are amazing, but the colors, I think, oh my gosh, that's really what draws me in here.
Thank you.
That is such a cool oak. Quercus.
Verticality,
Yeah.
speckled.
I haven't seen that before.
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah,
That's pretty
so
cool.
Pat McCracken at Garden Treasures had this. It's a variegated speckled oak. And as the branch or the leaves flush out, they get longer and longer. So it's this
Oh, that's nice.
dappled leaf with this beautiful color, and they get whiter as the summer goes along. So
That's
I'm
beautiful.
really excited. It's pushed out a couple of feet over the last couple of years, so I think it's really starting to take shape. It's only been in the garden probably 3 years. So
That's going to be so nice to provide some shade in this
gonna
whole
be
area.
really
and
nice to shade
in
this.
contrast.
exactly.
Wow. Now, we looked at this plant and admired it before. Hydrangea paniculata. I know there's a couple of them with different names. Reminded us of Yuki Gasho.
Yeah.
There were a few of them that were pretty similar, though, in names.
Yeah, summer snow and Yuki Gasho. Yuki Gasho translates from Japanese to English as summer snow.
Okay.
And so some people translated that.
Absolutely love this plant, though. You've got a gorgeous specimen of this. The variegation is just next level.
Well, that's one thing about the garden. You'll see a ton of variegation because I'm just drawn to that. But these plants look so good against the black house. They they have an amazing backdrop to just really kind of be the showstopper.
I'm really a fan of variegated hydrangeas because even when they're not in bloom, it's like you still got that
Yeah.
bloom quality going on,
Yeah.
color contrast.
I know most of most just the general public grow hydrangeas for the flower, but most of the ones that I really obsess about are the ones with the really cool leaves. I grow them for the leaves.
That's how I love them too.
Yeah.
I love the foliage, and I think when we were going around doing a sort of a pre-tour of your garden, we started to see how people can actually choose different variegated plants for different things. Like this one has a little more green in it than some of the other ones, which means it's got a little more vigor. I mean, this is the bigger tree.
Yeah.
But then you go to some of your other ones down your shade garden, and you put some of your whiter forms down there.
Yeah.
And there's one that you may have grabbed because it was so white.
Yeah.
And it's so cool the differences you can get on the variation.
So this area is gorgeous. We're going to walk by some awesome maples, but take us back here to one of your collections. I know we're going by this amazing Cotonoito, and you mentioned one of your favorites was the peaches and cream up here.
Yes.
They're absolutely looking amazing in the garden right now.
I love not only the variegation, but that soft, pale green mixed with the blue hydrangeas. I think is just such a spectacular color combination.
You have a great use of blue hosta. I know we're getting into some more shade gardens, but I love the way you pair those with maples to kind of create this texture color contrast.
Well, you have the dramatic, big, fat foliage of the hosta with the fine lace leaf of the Japanese maples. So that's where the texture really does a nice job blending.
And your use of the ferns as well. I mean, they just play off of the texture so well.
So this is the jewel box garden, I call it. This is where I have a lot of my treasures. Part of my collection of my podophyllums, my Hacken and Cloagrass, Sinulysis, lots of ferns in here. So a lot of them are tender, so I will pull them out of the ground and put them in the greenhouse over the winter. But this is a really spectacular garden that you see a lot of things that you've probably never seen before. Like that tiger, the polygonatum tiger stripes.
I was just eyeing that one too.
The
That's
variegation on that, another gift from Kathy Hornbuckle.
Oh.
So,
and then I see a lot of reoccurring themes, but then you see something slightly different, sometimes in the 4 different quadrants.
Yeah. So kind of the design element to tie your eye all together is where I've kind of patterned or duplicated a plant, but then called out a specific yellow in this plant with the lightning strike tricertus in there, and then done, I don't even know, like this beautiful little miniature baby hosta over here to kind of have those little pops of yellow all throughout.
That is so
this
beautiful.
This is such a cool garden.
And the texture you've used, and I believe this is Japanese forest grass here?
It is. That's a really rare one called Stripe It Rich. Hacken and Cloa Stripe It Rich. So you don't see that very often in the trade. So I wish there were more varieties of it because it's such a great grass and it goes amazing with all the Japanese maples, hostas, ferns, but you really only see the all gold or just a few of the main ones.
Yeah,
so
super nice.
I love this one. It's more of an apple green color.
Nice.
It's so cool just to get to see your design element in this
You
section
can
of the
definitely
garden
see
as well.
the art influence on this.
Yes.
This area is just amazing. Now, what's this one here?
This one is Hydrangea aspera Plum Passion. It's a Dan Hinckley intro. I've had that for quite a few years and transplanted it to all of the properties we've lived at. So it's really doing a great job right here in this corner
Love
of the house.
Colors here.
Yeah, Dan's a good friend of ours.
The underside, how it's got that dark purple pink.
It's so beautiful. I mean, I think we carried one before, like Burgundy Bliss, which is very similar. But I mean, I love what the rough leafed hydrangeas can do. I mean, just especially that purple color out there in the garden. You just get that extra dynamic. I mean, I think that's the reason why I love things like Yuki Gasho and it's Plum Passion here, is because you just get that color out there in the landscape, even when they're not blooming.
Correct. Again, just growing it for the foliage instead of the flowers. I love this.
I'm jealous of your warmer climate here because I haven't grown my spiderwebs outside, but they look amazing here. And I love how you're pairing that with the Peve starfish up here. You said this has been with you to each place. This is the Acer palmatum Peve starfish. Blue hostas all around.
Yeah, this one, it just gets better and better. I love the curling effect of that leaf that makes that starfish appearance. I love this tree.
Now, I'm no hosta aficionado, but you told us this one's Instagram famous, so I got to ask, what was
everyone loves this hosta. It's white feather. So it emerges this bright white color, but obviously needs some green chlorophyll to live. So it'll turn green throughout the summer, but just that little dramatic pop in that early spring garden.
I love the colors and textures you got going on here. The blue hosta really create a warm bed feel for this too, and it really the bolder colors stand out even stronger, and the variegateds like that spider web. I love that. Yeah. That's so nice in here. Texturally, it's huge too. You got a lot of big textures, and then kind of surprisingly, the Peve starfish stands out even more against those big backgrounds.
Exactly. It's almost like a textured carpet behind that draws your eye in, but you don't want to stare at it too long because there's nothing dramatic about it.
I love
it. But then this is your pop of interest.
Very cool. Now, you've got quite the container garden as we get through here. I know we'll go through a bunch of them, but your maple container garden is on point.
Yeah, so I started with this one a few years ago, and it's actually quadrupled in size, believe it or not. But this one is Chiba.
Yeah.
The itty bitty
tiny foliage.
Tiny foliage on that leaf, and everyone loved how it looked in the pot. So I've really started to do that with a lot of your Japanese maples, because then, throughout the design of the garden, I can just move a pot and put it in a gap if it needs it. But it's a nice way to display them until they get too big. You just want to put it right back in the garden.
Spoiler alert, she's got a lot of great macabre variants we'll show you. This place is just amazing. So you've got a lot of animals here as well?
I do. We have alpacas and chickens.
That's pretty awesome. I was staring over there earlier. It's pretty interesting. It's quite the farm.
My wife would be jealous because she wants to have a farm at our home as well.
Yeah.
And I haven't broken that barrier yet because I know it's a lot of work.
Well, the whole thought of having an alpaca farm is, for years I was buying alpaca manure to fertilize all my plants. And so when we moved out here and bought this property, we knew we had the space, so I asked my husband if we could get some alpacas. So now we raise our own fertilizer.
I love that everything about this. You were telling me even your coffee room's focused around the garden.
Yes.
And I can see how each element of this is kind of focused on getting outside in a way. It's all kind of relevant to the garden.
Yes, for sure. We built this house with the design thought of just wanting to feel like we were outside. So every single room has floor-to-ceiling windows. You can see all the different gardens from all the different rooms. So that's for sure the highlight of the house.
Now tell us what's going on here with the nursery.
I am big into garden tour season, and everyone loves coming to the garden, but then also wanting to buy something from it or find it. And so instead of me telling them where they could go find it and purchase it, I started growing my own, propagating my own, growing from seed in my greenhouse over the winter. And then I'm able to offer them something from the garden immediately when they're leaving the house. So it's a really nice treat for all my visitors.
Amazing.
Yes.
Let's make our way over here. This is one of my favorite gardens.
Move my cat.
Yeah, she surprised me when she
Sorry. She's a stray. Everybody comes and they never leave.
We picked up 2 this year during the hurricane that never left. Yeah. My kids have named them and we can't.
Oh,
but they've killed 8 rabbits, which is probably morbid to say, but with plants, I'm like, thank God.
It's a good thing.
So I'm absolutely.
She can eat as many voles as she wants.
I've never been a big cat person until it's they've killed 5 snakes and literally 6 to 8 rabbits since Christmas. I'm like, these are the best pets we've ever had.
Them around. So this is the beginning of really my container garden. Have a lot of the Japanese maples, all my little macawas.
I really like your design elements of right here, I see a lot of dark background
Yeah.
with your home, but then you've chosen to put white right in front of it, like this Fatsia spider's web.
Yeah.
I mean, you just see it just
I like the
rocking
tall
off the
vertical
wood.
pots too, like the taller containers you pick for your macawas.
Yeah.
Really, as those get out there too, that texture is just going to be wild right here.
Yeah. It just elevates them where all of the other plantings can kind of be that tapestry along the ground. But then my focal, obviously I wanted it to be the Japanese maples.
Kryptonite, Snow Kitten, Munkawa, Mystic Macawa. We're name dropping in here. Those are also my favorites. Absolutely love it. Shin Hikasa over here, guys. Just glowing. I love the trough feel to that one.
Yeah.
And this butterfly right here is kind of stealing the show.
Yeah, I've had this one for probably 12 years. Again, transplanted it to 4 different homes. So it's taken a little beating with the transplanting, but it's really done a nice job over the last year and a half kind of getting established in its new little spot.
It's looking beautiful. I mean, it's, again, just adding that whiter element, just brightening things up right here. And I like that you put it so this can get a little bit taller on the corner, so it's not blocking your view of the garden.
Yeah. Yeah, people get nervous about how to plant something or where to plant something, and so they just don't do it. But I encourage you to just do it and move it. My plants get moved all the time, pots to different locations, different homes. Plants are really resilient, especially Japanese maples. So just buy them all and plant them all over the place.
Now, Brenda, you were telling me this was one of your favorite ones,
love
and it really
this tree.
fits you personality-wise a little
Yeah.
bit. Tell us a little bit about what you like about this one.
I love just the nice spread it has on the leaves. It almost has that layering effect that I like, so we can still see out of our favorite little sitting room, so it doesn't block our view, but it's got all my colors, the olive and the purple. That's really the staple of the background of my garden color-wise. So this tree, Nebula, is just I cannot say enough about this tree. The variegation, I love it in all of the 3 seasons, spring, summer, and fall. So
You've got the perfect view through it, but also the perfect backdrop for
Yeah,
it. Like, I think you've
yeah.
got such a vision here with it.
And I think this is a nebula you probably got from us early
Yes,
on.
early, yes.
And this is one of the first nebulas out of the Buchholz farm.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yeah.
this is got some age to it. I mean, there aren't many this size out in the landscape yet.
yeah.
Hidden down here below, we got a lily pad and a bazinga.
I mean, it's just interesting, your use of Japanese forest grass, texturing, pairing against your hostas and your Japanese maples.
Yeah.
You get a lot to play off of here in this garden.
How about this color contrast? We got the Lillian's Jewel with the wolf eyes in bloom behind it. So the variegation on full display here.
And most of these smaller Japanese maples I just put in the ground not even 2-3 months ago. So
Wow.
I can't even imagine what they're going to look like in a couple of years. So
Maybe we'll have to do a return garden tour if you'll allow us,
I
because this
hit
place is
the
amazing.
jackpot when I went to your open house. I came home with quite a full carload.
I see a bazinga over here. That's probably one of the nice spoils of the
Yes,
venture.
it was. It was. I love the foliage of this Villa Toronto.
Oh, yeah.
It just pairs so lovely with that first blush hosta with that rosy stem and another container pot there.
So you're doing some vegetable garden over here?
I'm attempting. My kids don't like my cooking, so I end up planting it for the looks, and then I make a couple salads and cut a couple tomatoes, and that's it. So I think I just need to stick to perennial gardening.
I love how there's so many cool plants here. I just walked by and, a 10-foot, 12-foot evening lights and was so focused on everything else.
I know, we walked right by it, but I love that tree.
Seeing a Cersei's canadensis whitewater and an Arium here in this shot. Both are just looking amazing. You were saying this one kind of comes out green here in the shade, but then gets completely white later on?
It does. So it'll emerge this green. It has a tiny bit of the variegation, but as summer pumps along, it really starts to variegate and turn white, and then you just have this beautiful, hence the name white water.
Redbuds are so weird in that almost like at their peak in like July, August,
Yeah.
which is nice though to have something in that kind of their showiest in that time of the year too. But yeah, it's weird how they're like peaked up when it's at the hottest part of the year. It feels like
Yeah.
this Arium's just glowing back here too. Acer Solid Arium.
Yes, I think this color in particular does so much for the garden. just that bright pop of yellow. I've not been a fan of yellow in all of my years of gardening, and all my older, more wiser, mature garden friends, it's like, you have to have yellow in your garden. So
Tim Crowell, he talks about yellow all the time.
oh my
Every video,
gosh.
every video actually do a yellow dance.
Yes.
Because I mean, it makes you see all the shades of green.
It just pops. Yes. Yes, the yellow just pops.
Love it. Oh, I see an Acer calcaratum, a small one down there.
Oh, wow.
Well,
not for the rare.
I can't wait for that one, because when I bought it, it had all of the 4 colors. It just looked like this rainbow of color.
Crazy plant. So this one's succession actually comes from Westernbird Arboretum in England.
Okay.
So a wild collected one from there. Tends to stay fairly columnar too, so you won't block out a lot, but pretty cool looking plant. Big tropical textures in the garden.
Yes.
This place has it going on. I absolutely love your garden. I know you
you
mentioned this conifer over here on the right as we're coming through. Is that Zabrina?
Yeah, it is Zabrina.
I love that.
Love the variegation, just the stridation of these needles, the white stripes.
I think Pinus Walletiniana just isn't used enough, and
Yeah.
Zabrina with that just
Big needles.
it just gives it a really nice fluffy texture,
Yep.
and you get that variegation on top of that.
Yeah.
All right, we definitely got to go check out this Macaulay at Tsabusa and go into some of your shade gardens. I've seen, I got to sample a few of them early. There's some amazing spots around here.
The trunk.
Gotta have a macaw in every garden, right? This one's just out here in the front. Just big showpiece. I love it.
Yeah. Hot, hot, hot sun. Southern exposure on this guy, and it's just done extremely well. It's been transplanted to 4 different houses. And it's just doing such a good job here on the front of the house.
Well, we always ask everybody what their favorite tree is. This one comes up a good bit.
This one.
And you've got it in the perfect focal point here in front of your home.
Yeah.
You have some amazing spots. You've got a lot going on. Like, you've got a big amount of diversity within your landscape here for sun and shade.
Yes.
And I think a lot of gardeners would be pretty envious of your shade gardens in here.
Well, when we bought this property, it was a pine tree forest. So I was very specific on where we wanted to have the house and the barn and all of the gardens. So I was able to keep a couple of stands of trees that were tucked inside of the pines. But other than that, it's mostly sun. So I've really done a good job, I think, and it's been hard work to get shade, because the plants that I love to grow are shade lovers. So this ends up being where most of my collection that I'm really excited about belongs.
Some really fun plants right in here. We just walked by this Hanatura Sato. More green this year, you said, but normally even a bright white.
Yes, it'll
You
leaf
got that
out bright
paired
white.
here with Pung Kill for the texture and color, I can see.
Correct.
Love it.
And then you give it some vertical interest with another DeGroot spire. But tell us about how you're growing this Esk Sunset, because I think the way you're doing this is pretty awesome.
Yeah, the Esk Sunset, I learned from another plantsman, the harder you prune it back and want to keep it a smaller canopy, you will have a much, much vigorous variegation, and then that dark leaf color underneath that you can see, just this beautiful rusty salmon color. So that's what I'm growing this for, is the color of the leaf and then also the size of the leaf. If I were to let this grow to be what it could be, you wouldn't see any of the leaves. So this is a real highlight of this garden.
I'll tell you one thing that really stands out to me is, this tree is only 8 feet, but because you planted it on a hill, you can actually get underneath it and look up and see that purple pink backside and look up through the leaves.
Exactly.
And that just gives more dynamics to it. I mean, a lot of times you have to wait for that to be a 14, 15-foot tree to look up and see from underneath it. And here, just because you planted on a hill, you can appreciate that leaves at a much younger age.
Yes.
One of my favorite pairings are your ground cover going on here with the different texture above it. The pink and the blue, just love it. And we don't talk about the Groot growing the shade enough. It's pretty cool.
You know,
it's
gonna stay smaller than the other ones will, but it's doing really nice there. So again, plant it, and if it doesn't look good, just dig it up and put it somewhere else.
I just see so many cool plants in here. I see that your plant sophistication goes to like every level. Like it's not just your woody ornamentals. You're into a lot of just really amazing perennials as well. And
yes.
It's beautiful.
So a lot of garden tours? You do a lot of tours through here?
I do.
It seems like you're set up for a big crew to come soon.
I know. I did. I just had a big one last week and a couple more next week that I'm doing. So I just started this last year, having people come and walk through, and
wow,
it ended up being such a hit and fun for me to share all my plants and knowledge. And
when you put this much work into something, it's fun to see it shared, and I hope people appreciate what a cool garden they're getting to come see, because this is so next level.
Thank you. Still a work in progress, but I love sharing it along the way. And some people will come in the spring, and then they'll come back in the fall, and the garden looks totally different.
Seeing a weeping ginkgo over here, that's pretty cool.
Yes, so the JC Weeper, I believe you said it might be
Ross
another
Moore.
name now. Yeah, Ross Moore. But that hopefully will just kind of fill this hillside.
Nice.
It's one of the best weeping varieties of ginkgos. Like, it's the most pendulous of any of those selection. And Ross Moore was a collector in the Greensboro area, and he found a chance seedling, and it's just heavily cascading. And
amazing.
There's one of the original ones is right there at the J.C. Rouse and Arboretum too. I mean, it's beautiful. Very
cool. You've got a good mix of plants in here too. Like I'm seeing some metasequoias, variegated metasequoias. This one is Snow Flurry. That is next level.
Yeah, loves where it's at right now, and the variegation looks really, really nice. This yellow and green on that. Just kind of a sunny filtered highlighter right in that dark shady spot.
Beautiful yellow down here, a nice orange dream.
Got the earth fire in front of it.
Oh, nice. And then another Yuki-Gosho down there.
Yeah, and that's the one that gets a lot whiter. So I'm kind of excited to see how they grow in two different spots. I think with a property of this size, I'm very lucky to do that. I'll grow the same plant in multiple areas and see how they differentiate.
So I love this area. You got to take us in here to one of your shade gardens.
Yes.
Again, I'm envious of the shade garden. I'm trying to plant for more shade, but this area's really got it going on for just tons of interest.
This is probably my favorite part of the garden. This is called the Birdhouse garden. I have a lot of beautiful sculptured birdhouses in here that my friend made, but have been able to do a lot of my favorite plantings in here, whether it's the Polygonatum, Podophyllum, Cyanolysis, and then mixed in all with the Japanese maples. It's just... Oh, my favorite part.
I'm loving the container with the Greenstead Magnificent. Yes, I know I'm partial to plants you got for me, so I bring them up. But I do know there's more.
That.
The Greenstead Magnificent is looking just dope back here in the shade. Yes. That looks awesome.
And I love how, I think some people kind of grow it along the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I love just this elevating it and kind of giving this little pom-pom effect in that container, as well as just how the branches kind of arch over the pot.
More of those weird blue-green vibes in here, but totally different texture than the hostas. Exactly. I love it.
It's crazy that's a selection of a Northwest native.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just insane. And to see that just, that it's going to be a tree that can thrive and do well here. I saw another one at Bartlett up on a mound just thriving and doing well, and I was like, man, we need to be using that more and more.
Yeah.
I mean,
Such a cool plant.
so awesome.
I love this. Now
Tree.
tell us about what's going on here, because I love this, and I love that you left it in the garden. I mean, you
Oh
told
my
me a little
gosh.
bit about it when we walked up before, but this is funky.
Yes, so this is a tulip poplar that we believe fell over in the Hurricane Hugo. Hurricane Hugo went through this area, but this tree fell over and just never gave up. So it sprouted up 4 main leaders and is really the highlight of this whole garden. So when we were building the house, I flagged this with red tape everywhere, and I told the builder, I'm like, if you touch that tree, you're fired.
I love it.
So I was able to plant the beds all around this tree, so that is the focus. But then you have all of these really, really special collections that are just now starting to come out of the ground. So by the summer, this garden should be pumping.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, I love over here, you've got one of my favorite azaleas, Rhododendron stenopilatum, the spider azalea.
Yes, I have wanted this plant for probably 10 years and just found it this past fall. So it felt like Christmas seeing it in the greenhouse. So I snagged that as fast as I could. So I'm really happy to have that one finally. The color, again, that lavender purple is gorgeous.
I love the fact that it's got those real long
skinny.
leaves, and then the blooms as well. Just
Yeah.
play with that spider-like effect.
Yes.
And a really nice texture in the garden.
I like this garden mixing elements, so I mix a lot of steel work with the birdhouses and my steel hoops and my steel pots.
I love that.
Just a texture, and then back here all of the wooden stumps that we find around the property. We just load them up in the back of the golf cart and bring them to the garden and just kind of make this a real nice woodland effect.
I love the giant dogwood over here too.
Yeah, I mean, you've got your Mystic Jewel over here, which will get some of those lavender colors on
Yes.
it. And then you're going to be playing that off of this Cornus controversa variegata.
Yes. Love this tree. Again, I was on the hunt for this for years and years, and then you finally had it one special day. I was looking at your site, so I snagged that a few years ago and kept it in a pot for quite a while, and then just transferred into the ground 2 years ago.
What I really like about it is it gets that almost like black stemming, and then you have that just darker stemming playing against the white variegation.
Yeah.
It's just very unique, and the pagoda dogwoods, they're just so beautiful out there in the garden.
This one especially with the layering effect. They call it the wedding cake tree.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's got all those layers.
It's such an interesting, especially as they mature out, to just have those plateau, like out of nowhere, it just flattens out. Really cool. I see a red panda hiding out back there in the shade next to the barnyard.
Yes.
I love your use of pots in the garden. And I think that's probably, it gives you different tiers and different,
Correct.
it gives you, a garden that's sort of like a raised garden all throughout your space.
Well, I think with a garden this large, you have to have mass plantings because that's what really flows and keeps everything together. So with having these accented pots and highlights in the garden, that's where your eye can draw, but then you can do all of these mass plantings that makes everything flow. So it's part of the design.
Outstanding. Is this Miss Grace?
It is.
Nice.
I've had 3, and so this is the last one I will try. But what I recently heard was it has to be in a pot to do well. So my other friends that have this can attest to that as well. But I dug it out immediately once I heard that and put it in a pot, and she's been happy ever since. So I think that's going to be the key, because I love the foliage on her. It just reminds me of a little bonsai.
Yeah.
Just, but I love that color there.
Very cool.
Again, another hydrangea for the leaf. Miss Sayori in the pot there.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Nice.
The blooms where it's the two-tone,
Yeah,
the variegated.
Yeah.
But if you look up close, each of the bloomlets on Miss Sayori are double.
Yes.
So you get a double variegated bloom that contrasts with that burgundy foliage.
Yeah.
This has got to be like one of the most cinematic amber ghosts ever. You've got like the picturesque barnyard. We've got a magic moon in the trough here in front, and like when that amber ghost is glowing, you've got like the whole offset with the animals and everything. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the Amber Ghost is one of my favorite of the Ghost series. I just love how it's got that rusty orange, and it pairs beautifully with the steel and the rust pot, and then these gorgeous Southern Charm heucheras. This whole corner of the garden is just a really nice mix of that orange and light silvery blue color. So.
This is the most
My
picturesque
chicken's
chicken
going
coop I've
crazy.
ever seen. My wife's wanted to pick up some chicken gardening when we get to our next, not gardening, chicken keeping.
Yes.
When we get to our next house. Don't show her this one. I don't think we're building anything this nice. Wow,
yeah.
that is epic.
We lay golden eggs.
Yeah?
No, just kidding.
Maybe.
They should, living in that thing, but
That is-
oh, it's great. Look at the clematis side.
Oh, some
They're not
beautiful
VC?
St. Joseph's lily there as well. My grandmother used to love St. Joseph's lily.
Oh, I don't even know. My friend that I got a piece of that from, she got it from her grandmother, so she doesn't even know the name. It's that old.
I
I
was,
think you'll get like a spiced sweet smell to them. Almost smells like
Really?
aftershave. Yeah. I don't know if I still have any of that. I need to check. I love that plant though.
I've tried to plant a lot of specimen trees down in this garden. This is called the well garden, so it's
Okay.
on the outer perimeter of the property.
Uh-huh.
So I'm hesitant to plant too many things in here until I figure out if the deer are going to stay away ultimately. But I think my dogs do a very good job of scaring them away. So
Yeah.
I have some larger Japanese maples down in here.
Love orange flame.
The orange
Yeah, that thing
flame.
is some great fall color.
Love this tree.
it was found by a truck driver driving around in Oregon.
He just
And-
loved the fall color
And he
so much.
loved the
No.
plant.
Yeah.
Loved the fall color. He got scions, got it into production, and it became orange flame. And it's,
Oh my
I mean, it's one of the
gosh.
faster growing Japanese maples
Yeah.
that we grow.
It gets big quick. I like it.
I have that one and winter orange, which has that nice orange combo with the purple. So this garden is in the fall is spectacular.
I bet.
The Amsonia hubrectii in the fall, they turn that yellowy orange color. So I have this like plume
Oh, wow.
underneath the orange of the tree. It looks
Sensory
amazing
overload.
together. You know Peter Gentling?
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is from him.
It was Don Redwood?
Yes, it
Nice.
was a little baby off of the two that he has in
Oh.
his.
How are they doing after the flood?
I
we
think
filmed
they're
it literally
doing
2
okay.
weeks early. 2 weeks before the flood, we filmed the
way.
garden, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're doing okay. I was going to reach out because I want to go up there in a couple weeks
Hmm.
and visit them, but she said they lost a lot of trees.
I heard they were safe, and I
Yeah.
hated to ask anymore just because I
Yeah.
was so nervous.
Yeah, well, I asked you.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
have you heard from? Because they
We
weren't
reached out to some
answering.
other friends, and they said they were good, and they
Yeah.
were fine, they were safe, and I was like,
we're
we're
going
going
to had a couple oaks come down. From what I
Yeah.
heard.
yeah. We filmed at his place with Nakata-san from Japan
Okay.
2 weeks. Like, Nakata-san literally left that week that everything started.
Wasn't
so.
he there to look at the
Yeah,
at these?
yeah, he came and saw these, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we filmed at Bluebriar. It was beautiful.
I love that you've got these truncatums out here, and I mean it's just going to grow up, give you some shade out here on this side of the garden, some of that hotter afternoon sun.
Exactly.
And a flamethrower redbud over here throwing some crazy color.
Yeah, that's been a nice addition to this outer edge before the woodland. So I like that color.
And again, the use of the yellow with the Easter plant and Woody's Princeton's Gold.
Yes.
Is that one that you picked up at our last open house?
Yes, actually Kathy did and got it for me.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful
So-
there. We were just filming at Flora Farm in Oregon,
Okay.
and they have a really old specimen of that, and the bright yellow just, I mean, again, just makes the garden come together.
And what will it do in the fall?
More yellow.
More yellow.
More yellow.
And then that one over there, it's more
Bright,
orange.
more orange red.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So they'll play off each other in the fall.
Yeah.
It'd be beautiful. And then I see some of I love the evergreen dogwoods.
Yes.
Tell me something. Tell me a little bit about these. Do they stay fairly evergreen for you here?
They do. They have not bloomed yet. My friend that has these in her garden are blooming profusely. But these are doing a nice job gaining in size. I have 3 down here in this garden. I wanted to introduce more evergreen stuff throughout that winter interest. But when they do put on blooms, it's just spectacular.
You may be in luck later this season. I see some starting to
are they
develop.
coming?
I see some starting to develop.
Okay. Nice, nice. No, I really love this tree.
I love the evergreen dogwoods too because for us they're kind of semi-deciduous in the mountains.
Yeah. Okay.
But they give you evergreen interest all year round,
year
and then
round.
they give you blooms like a Coosa dogwood.
Yes.
And so you get those summer blooming interest out there. We're going to just be coated in white. I mean, it's such a unique thing to have out there in the garden.
Yeah.
So Brandy, thanks so much for letting us tour this garden today. I think a lot of our viewers are really going to benefit from seeing how you've used a lot of your artistic views to kind of create a flow in the garden. And there's so much I think people can learn from viewing what you've done here, especially collectors, because you've got a big collection, but it's cohesive. It pairs well together, and like it has a flow to it. Despite being a collection, it's like also an art piece. So I love what you've done here. I think it's one of the best gardens I've ever been to as far as how the flow and the color and just the textures are just out of this world. So thank you so much for letting us show this off today. Outstanding garden.
I mean, collector plants, but in a design garden.
Right.
It gets me excited about what I can do in my garden. My garden right now where I'll be building is a blank canvas. And so it gives me a lot of ideas on, hey, you know, think about using these things on the hillsides. Think about using pots out here in the garden. I mean, I think you've really done a good job of pairing textures and color, and it shows. You
And
can see
hard structure with those pots, yeah.
Oh, and then use natural design elements as well, like the tree that fell over. I mean, that is just next level. I love it. A lot of people have just removed that out with the rest of the garden to create a blank space, but you've incorporated into the garden. I really appreciate you taking your time to show us around the garden today. And as always, of course, I appreciate getting a lot of plants from us.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for all you do and everything you offer.
So definitely follow her on Instagram. Give me your Instagram again.
Yeah, it's Stone Falls Farm.
It's picturesque here. There's no bad photos to be taken. It's already Instagram worthy in real life, so it actually looks like that for real. It's just absolutely one of my favorite gardens I've toured. So thank you so much for having us today.
Y'all, make sure you're subscribed here on the MrMaple Show. We work hard to bring you daily content like this. I mean, this garden was amazing. So make sure you share this video with your gardening friends. You know, and if they ever get a chance to come be part of one of the garden tours that gets to tour this garden, you got to take that chance because it is amazing.
Thank you.
All right, guys, take care.
God bless.
And have a great day.